So Chinese identity, Islam identity, Muslim identity, Russian Orthodox Christian identity, or Eurasian identity, they are different, but they could collaborate, cooperate, basing on this win-win strategy proposed by China.
I remember, like Professor Dugin, a Portuguese scholar, Bruno Maçães, who is also advocate of Eurasia and Eurasianism, a few years ago, and he said something about China's Belt and Road initiative. And basically, he said a new kind of what he called supercontinent has emerged, that is Eurasia, stretching from Lisbon to Shanghai to Jakarta. Of course, the BRI is a Chinese initiative based on the Chinese idea of discussing together, building together, and benefiting together. I think it reflects the core idea of Chinese socialism, with an emphasis on equal partners in mutually beneficial cooperation. And this BRI is also influenced by the Chinese political governance philosophy. That is, we always focus on placing people's livelihood first. Whatever you do in economic policy, in political policy, it should all end up delivering tangible benefits to your people. And BRI addresses the huge problem of the current unipolar world order. That is, it neglects the infrastructure deficits in the non-Western world. So when China put forward this idea, it's well received by the non-Western world. In many ways, it's also a reflection of what I call the Chinese idea of Eurasia. Our land borders, our sea borders, or other borders in this vast continents should be bridges between different countries and different civilizations, rather than clashing points between them. So I'm very critical of the Western concept of so-called divide and rule. Wherever they go, they apply that kind of philosophy as philosophy of governance. I advocate the Chinese concept, unite and prosper, rather than divide and rule. And this is also reflected in the BRI, in the Chinese leader Xi Jinping's idea of shared future for mankind. So, Professor Dugin, could you elaborate a bit here to Chinese audience, international audience, your idea of Eurasianism, as well as your thoughts on China's BRI initiative? I remember you told me in Shanghai back in, I think, the year 2018, when you were here, your thinking on China and BRI has actually evolved and changed over the years, from previously somehow suspicious of China and BRI to today's far more positive about all this. So please, you have the floor.
Thank you. Thank you. That is, I think, extremely important topic. Before BRI initiative, there was purely hegemonic Western concept of New Silk Road. And the main geopolitical meaning of the creation or recreation of the New Silk Road was to avoid Russia and link China to Europe on the as the rimland part, letting China to expand its influence on the border states of southern Eurasia in order to exclude Russia. So that was the prehistory of BRI. But when Xi Jinping, great Chinese leader, whom I respect with all my heart, has announced Belt and Road Initiative. That was not continuation of the New Silk Road Initiative. That was totally different. And that is very symbolic that we have two words here, two key words. Road, that means mostly maritime, the sea sea routes, sea line and belt. That means the kind of communication through the land. And this addition of the belt element and BRI initiative was extremely important because it was the great shift from continuation of the new Silk Road to some Eurasian element, because some of the routes on the land, some elements of belt strategy were put in the Eurasian space and Russian space. It was not against Russia, it was with Russia. It was not divide and conquer and rule, but that was exactly as you have mentioned. That was win-win strategy in order to China wins, other country, non-Western country included in the context win as well. China wins, Russia wins. And from that was the other development of this BRI when Putin has recognized the new meaning of BRI initiative. And our president with Xi Jinping, the great Chinese leader, they have announced Greater Eurasia Project, because Greater Eurasia Project is not just the belt part of BRI. It is idea to put to join the efforts in creation of the balance, convergence, a common strategy for the benefit of all parts, not against nobody. That was the main structure of multipolar system. And because for Russia, Eurasian integration, it is the main condition of existence, because without this Eurasian integration, Russia could not affirm its status of independent sovereign pole, and China here can achieve all her goals with cooperation and collaboration of Russia. And the importance of the northern seas will grow, and Russia will be not only just one of the partners of BRI, but will be the main geopolitical and geo-economical and I think civilizational participant in this project. I see with great enthusiasm the development of this BRI, because it is key element in reconstruction the world architecture in geoeconomy, in geopolitics. And I'm very glad and happy that Pakistan and Iran and Turkey, three countries mentioned by Mr. Ejaz Akram, who show as well the strong will to affirm their sovereignty and independence. They are main partner of China in BRI project. That is very promising elements and tendency, and Russia should regard as partner, as ally, as friend in any issues. So we should promote BRI initiative as if it would be our own, and because it is in Eurasian integration, that is in main elements of the success. So we should be more and more united, still conserving our civilizational identities, because it is very important. In multipolar world, identity is almost everything. So Chinese identity, Islam identity, Muslim identity, Russian Orthodox Christian identity, or Eurasian identity, they are different, but they could cooperate, basing on this win-win strategy proposed by China. And I think the role of China, a leading role of China, should be recognized and respected, and we should help China to achieve its her goals, but achieving our own goal.